Okay, it's that time again where I pick out the old movie book and shoot off two reviews in the book. Running low, I think. I think I might be about halfway through, but nevertheless, it's good content. I mean, these ones are kind of crappy, but as always, guess which ones they are, Curtis, and
Right,
maybe you
I
can
got
try
this.
guess along at home too. So the first one, I gave a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
This was actually yeah, this was the first review in the book. So let's hit him with it. Would have been better if I went in blind. Great
Mm.
use of characters in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Both leading actors play great roles as Schizo and Psycho.
7.5. Oh, I don't know.
Well, the keywords in this that give away the title are Schizo and Psycho,
Psycho, yeah. 7.5.
but it also doesn't give away it because I mean, spoilers for the film. But yeah, okay.
Hmm.
If I give you, should I give you a clue?
Yeah, go on then.
Um, there are two lead actors in the film. I said, but
Mm.
it's only actually one character.
It's fucking Fight Club, isn't it?
It is
It's
correct.
Fight Club, yeah.
Fight Club, yeah.
Yeah. Fair play,
And
yeah.
the next one, I gave an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's high.
And
Alright.
who's the father? Main question! Exclamation.
Maury.
They both have sex with girl. Leo and Matt play excellent cops as well as Mark
Oh,
Wahlberg.
it's the fucking Departed. It's the
Yeah,
Departed.
always love his cop roles. It juggles the two cops side very well without getting lost in all sides of the story. Side note, I
Nice.
love the Boston accent, especially when they swear.
Like, come on then. Let's hear it then. Let's hear your Boston accent.
Who's the father? That was terrible. Jesus.
Tamilin, Hevelin, Chevelin, Dimmerlin, Levelin. The two damn cousins out, they're watching movies. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Reinventing the Real. I'm one of your hosts, Curtis Rogers. I'm joined. There he is. There he is.
Whoa.
That's us. And we also are Reinventing the Real first. We are joined by a guest today. One Mr. Hasbula. Hasbula, didn't I say hi? He's shaking his head. He doesn't want to say anything. I'm taking the piss. If you don't know who Hasbula is, he's this weird little. There's this little Russian kid who's actually like 18 or something, and he's got hands. He's swingers. He's lethal. If anyone wants to get us in contact with Hasbula, please do that because we are very big fans over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing this week, Cameron? How you been?
Yeah, not too bad. Good times. Sun shining if you've been in the UK over the weekend when we were recording this. Would have been bank holiday weekend. Very
Love to
nice
see it.
very nice weather we've had. And yeah, been a nice uplifter. What about
Yeah.
you? What about you?
Yeah, I can't complain. Can't complain. Did a bit of drinking on the weekend. My liver is still throbbing a little bit, but it's a sign of a great night.
Yeah.
So what is this, episode 28 now?
Yes.
That's ridiculous to me.
30.
That's
Getting into our 30s. Need to start thinking about settling down.
put a mortgage on the house, all that. Alright, so if you don't know what we do here, we're reinventing the real. We take our favourite movies, TV shows, films. Movies and films are the same thing. Well done, Curtis. This is why you don't let me introduce the show, because I always fuck it up. What am I doing?
It's
Um,
right.
we take our favourite properties, shove them in a randomizer, and just kind of shoot the shit, see what we come out with. So this week we're thinking, you know what? Let's get a little bit more of a theme going on again. We're gonna do another video game episode. Our last one was Sonic Unleashed.
Oh boy.
Back episode, I want to say like 15 or something like that.
Yeah,
Not a clue though.
it feels close, but it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Also,
Uh, I'm just gonna take a look. It's gonna bug me.
that was also the where I first introduced the movie book, and
So it
yes, I
was.
thought I'd bring it back for this as well. If it's a
Oh, it
game one.
was episode 18. I was off by 5. Episode
Yeah.
15 was the Ballad of Nanny McPhee.
Oh,
Another
solid,
classic.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah. And now here we are at episode 28. And this week, what are we doing, Cameron? Give me those 3 magic words.
Spin that real. But before that. Oh, boy.
Takes big swig of squash. Oh, steady on, mate.
Love that.
Okay.
Refreshed.
I'm excited, but also I'm very scared because I feel like I don't know where we could go with this. So the possibilities are endless.
Mm.
We got a video game because of course it's a video game thing.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna get a description of this game up, and I'm gonna like describe it to you,
Yeah. Right.
and I'm gonna see if you can tell me what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Created by Russian software engineer Alexei Pajinatov.
Tetris.
How the fuck did you get that? What the shit? What the fuck? How did you do that then?
Oh, I've watched like this YouTube documentary one time on Tetris. It was actually really interesting.
And
But-
did you recognise the name Alexei
Yeah.
Pajinatov?
Yeah.
Rah, my
The
guy.
history of Tetris is actually like very interesting. Like, cause like it is the best-selling game of all time. But that's because like there's so many different versions of it. Everybody's had
Yeah.
their like different
Spin.
take and all that.
Gee, I've
Yeah,
got Tetris on my phone right now, man. I've always got Tetris on my phone. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah,
this
yeah,
has got to be a hard one. But
that's blown my fucking Tetris. How the fuck? All I said was Russian software engineer, and you went, "Oh yeah, Tetris, yeah."
Come on, that will be like my fastest finger question in
That's impressive,
those
man.
things. I'm full
Yeah,
of dumb game knowledge like that.
Whew. All right, should we hit the randomizers then as well?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
I'm
go.
still in awe, man. Oh,
Thank you.
my guy. All right. So number 1, the bad guy has to win.
The bad guy of Tetris. Okay.
Timmy, watch out! I'm Timmy Tetris. Here I come. Here comes Timmy Tetris.
All he wanted was a line piece. Instead, he got an L block. Oh.
Ooh, okay. Number 2, we've got ad narration. That's piss easy.
Yep.
Number 3, we got has to be a stoner movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's very doable.
So the bad guy wins. Narration and stoner movie.
Yeah.
Tetris. Right. Okay. Any ideas? Right, out of the gate.
Okay, so we could go very literal. Yeah, I was thinking anyway, and make it like about the creation of the game of Tetris, and it could be like some sort of like Russian Cold War spy film or some shit like that. But then I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Then number 2, I was thinking we could do like an all-out balls to the wall, like kind of like like The Interview kind of film.
Yeah.
And it's like they find out that this guy's developing a new game, and it's so like dangerous that they have to send like someone in to actually no, that literally is just The Interview. I don't know. Hit me with something.
I was thinking it'd just be like a bad trip movie, and then like
Okay.
they see the Tetris blocks or whatever, the Tetraminos as they're called, or something like that.
Are they called
And then-
Tetramine? Ooh, okay.
I think so. And then I don't know, they're in like a Tetris land or whatever. I don't know. It would be like a
Oh yeah, like
It-
like
like a
fucking Shark Boy
Pixels
and
type
Lava
thing.
Girl. Like
maybe.
Like yeah.
They had this bad trip.
So like maybe they take shrooms or something like that,
I guess, yeah.
and they've got to like escape from this Tetris. Okay, and of course it's gonna be like a Jonah Hill kind of vehicle.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone in mind particular? Maybe.
Nah, not fully. Let's bring back Harold and Kumar, maybe.
Gee, I
Who
fucking
knows
love
what they're
Harold
doing.
and Kumar, man. Those films are so good. I mean, they probably
Well,
haven't
I think
aged
I've
very
only
well.
seen the White Castle one. Yeah,
The White
I
Castle
don't
one's a
think they have.
banger. Yeah, and
But yeah. Should I take this?
yeah,
Shall I start?
go off, son. And
All
yeah,
right. So I don't want it to be like present day. I want it to be like early game consoles, like when it first really came out, right?
mm,
And there's gonna be like a big in this film. There'd be like a lot of references to like games, so like oh the new Super Mario Bros. And stuff, and like
yeah,
you got that new NES. Wow, what's that Tetris game you got? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, well,
yeah,
your two typical slacker like teens or like slackers in their 20s, just like struggling through university or college or whatever, and then they all they like is like video games and stuff, and I can feel this going into like the ways of regular show. It's fine, fine.
yeah.
We'll keep out of it. We'll keep out of it.
That's
But
like that then.
yeah, they're like just go through daily things. Like one of them actually kind of wants to try the most, and like they're doing all their work and that, and then they're like, oh, we've partied hard last semester, but now I've got to like, actually knuckle down. And his other friends like, nah, dude, we can just keep like flying through this. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it. And then he's all like, no, no, like, come on. He's like, dude, you were the party man. You were nominated party man of like the whole year or whatever. Like,
they
you know
point
how
to a
many
plaque.
people have that? Yeah, he's like a picture of him or like doing a keg stand or whatever.
Yeah,
And he's like, oh, but dude, like, you don't understand. Like, if I don't pass this, my dad's gonna like not pay my tuition anymore, and I'm gonna have to get like a job. And oh, I can't deal with that. I want to be party man, but I can't. He's like, well, whatever, dude. I gotta go meet some guy. He's gonna said he's got something for me. I'm not too sure.
okay,
So he's like, oh, whatever, dude. So then it goes off with I haven't really given him names. So the guy who's doing his work, we'll call him uh Patrick,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the other one, the slacker one, is called
Rigby. No, I kid.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Oh, why not Ryan? Patrick and Ryan. Okay. So anyway, Ryan goes off and he's like walking. He's like maybe on a skateboard or whatever. I don't know. Rides his bike.
yeah. In a real slacker nature.
Yeah, and he's like just going through like the campus and stuff. You see like this is just party central place, and everybody's like going crazy. And they see, oh Ryan, hey, where's Patrick? And he's like, oh, he's being a bummer. He's like, oh come on, get him out. He's like, nah, I'm sorry guys, it's not up to me. And then he just like rides off. So anyway, he's like goes and meets this dude, and he's like, oh, what's up Ryan? I got the stuff you asked for. He's like, oh man, you got my regular bits? And he's like, well, I got this new thing you might want to try. And
Yeah,
gives it to him. It's like
it's called Bing
shaped
Bong
like
or
one of
some
the
shit.
Tetris blocks.
Yeah,
It's like I don't know, like a T block or something.
yeah,
He's like, what the hell is this? He's like, oh, you played that new Tetris game on the Nintendo? He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you haven't played it, dude. I'll give you uh
my Super
my
Nintendo, or whatever
Nintendo.
it's on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you my Nintendo. You ride down to Blockbusters, pick yourself one up,
Oh,
like
that's
rent
throwback. Oh,
it, and then trust me, you'll have a mental time. He's like, oh, okay, sure, man. So anyway, he like stuffs his finger in his backpack. He's like, yeah, just make sure like you you put half it up or whatever. If you take all of it, like who knows what could happen, but I've heard you go crazy if you do all of it. He's like, whatever, man. But anyway, he rides off to Blockbuster and he sees like uh his crush there or whatever. He's like, she's all like, oh hey Ryan, you renting? He's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, what are you after? He's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm looking for this Tetris game, for the Nintendo. And she's like, oh yeah, you're not doing those things, are you? Like
Dude,
I've
that's
heard on the
such a
street.
jump in logic. That's such a change.
Like she's like, oh, I've heard it on the street. Like,
Yeah.
oh, no, no, no. Like, well, I'm just he like picks up. I don't know. What, he picks up Pretty Woman at the same time. I don't know if that was like came out the right around the
Yeah, yeah,
same time.
yeah. I think that would be out. Maybe, probably.
And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this film. He's like never seen it before in his life. And he's like,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I love that film. You watching it with like your girlfriend or whatever? And he's like,
T. Yeah.
uh, no, I'm just gonna watch it with um Patrick. And he's like, whoa, I didn't realize you were gay. That's so forward.
That's so progressive.
He's like,
Yeah.
no, 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 like that kind of
Yeah, yeah.
lowbrow joke.
Like, whoa, yeah. Nah, that's not me. Like, nothing against that. Like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so then he's like, oh, you know what? Why don't you swing by my place and we could all watch it together? And she's like, oh, okay,
I'm
sure.
working
If I
till.
could maybe bring like my friend for like she's like really into Patrick, and maybe they might hit it off. He's like, yeah, sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
come
clearly
come
like
on
a real
over.
cute kind of. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, okay, well, how's tonight after I finish work? He's like, tonight, Patrick's doing nothing, so he can, yeah, yeah, tonight, do it, come over, yeah, tonight. And she's like, okay, well, I just need you to sign off for these, and he's like, oh yeah, no doubt, yeah, cool, well, yeah, signs off for like Tetris and Pretty Woman, and he's like, all right, see you tonight, yeah, see you tonight. And just keeps saying that. She's like, all right, bye.
Tonight.
No, anyway, he's like rides back to campus, like goes really fast. He don't give a crap about Tetris or whatever. He just thinks he's gonna get laid tonight.
Yeah.
He's like, gets back to the door, like kicks open the door. Ah, Patrick. Ah, dude, what do you want? The girl, I got Lacey to come over tonight, and she's gonna bring her friend.
Macy.
Charlie, sure.
Nice.
And Lacey and Charlie, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
Lola.
she's like, oh, I hate Charlie, man. Why is she coming over?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure like she has a crush on you or something. And he's like, nah, dude, I like Lacey. Right? It's like, yeah, you like Lacey too. I like Lacey. God damn it. Well, I've got a better chance anyway, 'cause she's bringing over Charlie for you. So he's like, oh, whatever, man. What you got in the bag anyway? He's like, oh, uh, Harold gave us his old bloody Nintendo or whatever. He told us to play Tetris while we take this. He's like, nah, dude, I ain't taking no stuff. He's like, oh, come on, man. Like, apparently this stuff's really good. He's like, no, I told you, I'm not partying anymore. And then I'll let you take it from here.
Okay. So he's just like,
Push the story along.
He goes, all right, fine. But then like he tries to jab him one more time. He's like, hey, come on, like how many more times are we gonna get to do this and blah blah blah. That he's like appealing to him. Like he's like, I'm sorry, man, I can't afford to. I've got this big interview tomorrow, or the test or whatever it is. Etc. etc. And he's like, all right, cool, whatever. He's like, hey, he's like, and go make me a drink while you're at it, or something like that, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, don't you worry, I'll make you your drink. And so this is where he slips he slips it in his drink or
Oh.
some, and then he takes his one as well, but his one doesn't kick in for ages.
Ah, right. Okay.
So and then you see what's his name? He's like trying to work, and he's just like tick, 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 tick. And like you can see like the words like falling off the page, like falling onto the page, and that's like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
It's not making any sound anymore. Like he's still typing, but there's no sound. And he's like, what? He's like, what the hell? He looks down at his keyboard. It's just like vanished. And he's like, what the hell? And like he looks up at his screen, and it's all just like the Tetrinos, what you said called them, or whatever.
Tetraminos.
It's just them, like every. Can I share something with you and the listeners? Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
have a recurring dream, well, a recurring nightmare,
Okay.
and it terrified me that like every inanimate object in my house would come to life,
Oh my.
and it'd be like in pain and screaming and stuff.
Jesus.
But like as the dream went on, yeah, more and more of my stuff would come to life. And then like my body parts would come to life.
Oh.
Until like I just didn't exist anymore.
Jesus.
Yeah? So I'm picturing that's what a bad trip would be like.
Okay.
It's a fun
Right.
Yeah. Like at the time I thought it was weird, but now I look
hell.
back on it, I'm like, yeah, that's
That's
yeah.
horrifying. Jesus.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, imagine that happens.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's like freaking out. And he's like, hey, he's like, what's the other one? Ryan. He's like, Ryan, things are getting weird in here. And like Ryan comes in, he's like, what? Yours is kicked in. He's like, how's that happen? He's like, what do you mean mine's kicked in? And he's like, he's like, you son of a bitch. He's like, you drugged me, didn't you? You put that thing in me. And he's like, what? No, I've never. Oh shit. And then like Ryan's face just like melts into like cheese or something like that.
Oh.
And so Ryan's having the time of his life,
Yeah.
but the other one, whose name escapes me, Finley, I don't know, what was his name?
Patrick.
Patrick's not. He's not feeling it. He's like, nah, this ain't the one. This ain't it. So then they both find themselves like trapped in this like pocket. It's not like an actual pocket dimension, but it's like a shared psychosis kind of thing.
Right.
So like in reality, they're both just like mumbling on the floor or whatever.
Yeah.
But like in their heads, they're in this like Tetris world with Tetrinos and like picture like the Emoji Movie,
Yeah.
just like that, just everywhere.
Jesus. All right.
And they're like, yeah, this doesn't seem ideal. And he's like, and you can see how angry Patrick is. He's like, why would you do this the day before my big interview? You knew I had it coming up. He's like, hey, come on, man. I just thought we could have fun like we used to. He's like, no. He's like, you never think. You're always like just trying to cling on to whatever you've got. Blah 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 blah. He's like, I'm trying to make something of myself. I'm trying to do something next year. And he's like, I don't even know where I'm gonna be next year. He's like, I failed all my exams or whatever. You know, I have to resit. And this would be the first time in my life where I haven't had you.
Oh.
You know, like I don't know what I'm gonna do with my with my life now. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, I don't know. He's like, it's embarrassing, you know. Like you had all these plans and you were gonna go off and do this and do that, and I don't know. I don't know what I'd do without my best friend. Yeah.
While that is happening, all around them, it's like
The walls are
there's
closing
like
it.
blocks stacking up.
Yeah.
The blocks are stacking up, and you know, like when you're like trying to stack it all, and then like you're getting it perfect, so then all you need to put down is like the middle piece or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that speech all goes on, and he's like, Patrick's just like, uh, he's like, dude, I just poured my whole heart out to you. He's like, no, are you not seeing this? Like,
Yeah.
and you look up, and then there's just a massive block coming up, like down, closing onto like one on the top of them. And they're like, ah, and they just gotta run up. Sorry, carry
No.
on.
Yeah. No. That's hard. That's hard. So they're sprinting away. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Ah, Jesus. Um, and they're like, this can't be the real world, right? And they're like, no, 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 this is just our thing. We're probably safe and sound at home. And then it like smash cuts to them on the floor, and they're like, um, and then within the psychosis, you hear a,
oh damn.
I'm like, what the hell is that? And every time it bangs, more
Yeah,
tetrinos fall, and they go boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what's going on? And then it cuts to the real world, and it's the girls there. And they're like, oh, I hope he likes me, and blah, 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 blah. He's like, he'll be fine, come on. And he's like,
bro.
oh, I remember where he left his key, or whatever. So she opens the door, and she comes in to find them, like, twitching on the floor.
Jesus.
And she's like, oh, he bloody lied, didn't he? And the other one's like, this is Tetris, this.
Yeah,
Like the other friends like high key into drugs, so she knows all the slang, all of that.
yeah.
So she's like, yeah, this is definitely the work of Tetris. And she's like, it looks like they're freaking out, and they're like, we could either stay out here, or we can like maybe try and go in and help them. And
Yeah,
like, well, there's no guarantee that we'd be able to get in there safe and blah blah, stuff like that.
yeah,
So one of them goes in. It's the other the one,
the,
not the one who we met earlier.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah. So Charlie goes in, and she just like appears, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna need both you to breathe and to calm down. I've done this many a time. I know what I'm doing. So she's in there like guiding them, and then like
Yeah,
the other one's outside like Oracle, because she's like very anti-drugs or whatever.
yeah.
And then what happens?
They're just like proper freaking out, and they're like, she's like, oi, oi,
She
idiots.
smacks them.
Yeah, chill out. All right, this ain't my first rodeo. I know what I'm doing. All right, listen to me. And they're like, oh, how did you get in? Like, this is hard. What? And she's like, well, there's a key under the mat. And she's like, I don't know what mat. Like, we're
Yeah.
talking about this place. And she's like, oh right, well, sometimes when people like take these sort of things, they end up in like a shared sort of psychosis.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the
We
right word.
call it the Tetradome.
Yeah.
And her voice echoes and it zooms out for some reason. And like, what just
Yeah.
happened? And she's like, what do you mean? I just said the Tetradome.
They're like, oh well, how do we get out? Like, they're just like, well, you're gonna have to write it out. And they're like, oh, I don't know how long I could deal with this. Like, this is the weirdest stuff we've ever taken. And then she's like, oh, well, you could just try and beat the high score. And they're like, what? But how do you do that? And she's like, well, we gotta like kind of snap you out of it, and you gotta become one with the game. And then like you can control the blocks and try and clear as many. The highest score was the creator of the game, and then it name drops the creator. I forgot his name. What was his name again?
Something.
It was
Tetris. Oh no, I ended up on Tetris.com. I think I've broken my computer.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it's like the high score is the creator of the game.
Alexei Paginatov.
Yeah. And they're like, well, how are we gonna beat the creator of the game? And Patrick's like, oh, dude, my little brother used to play video games when I was back at home. Like maybe I played with him a couple of times, but it was only like that Super Mario game. Or like it's like, well, you could try it. Like, you know what? Uh, this will be it. Like, we'll get out of this one last adventure before like you like give away to all your work and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, we might as well just like ride this out or take it out. And Charlie's like, yeah, I was thought we were gonna watch Pretty Woman tonight. Like, and Patrick's like, Pretty Woman.
I mean, what the hell are you on?
It's just like it was a weird time. All right,
Yeah.
it was a strange time at Blockbuster. So anyway, they're like, all right, let's find a way to channel into the game or into the psychosis, if you will. And Charlie's like, well, all right, well, first we need to go to the controller. And she's like, they're like, there's a controller. It's like, yeah, this place is basically like the same map of your house, but all right, give me a second. And then she just like disappears. And they're like,
What the? Yeah.
And she's like, oh, wakes up in like the real world because apparently she can just snap in and out of like these
Yeah.
sort of things.
Yeah.
Or maybe
like,
she's just got like she's built up so much of a tolerance to it, and she's like, yeah, all right, my tolerance is running out, so like I gotta go.
she's the
And then she
chosen
just
one.
disappears. And she's up, and she's like, all right, set them up in front of the game to Lacey. And she's like, huh? What? He's like, oh yeah, I'm assuming like dealer gave him like the Nintendo and like. And she's like, oh yeah, come to think of it, he did come pick up Tetris. I mean, he did lie to me about it, so they're like, well, that's a good step. At least they got the way out.
Yeah.
So they like flop him onto the couch, and then like they set up the games console, and then she's like, all right, I'm gonna give him the controllers. I'm gonna go back in there, and then I'll give you the signal. And once it happens, like, once I give you the signal, I'll put my thumb up, and I want you to turn on the console. She's like, right. She's like, okay, I'm taking another one. See you soon. Falls to the floor. Bam! Back in Tetris land. And I don't know, maybe they're like starting to get hungry or something. And he's like, it's like hijinks of Ryan trying to eat a block or something. He's like, nah, this just tastes like static or whatever. And she pops back in. She's like, all right, idiots. Time now. We're going to need to tune into the game. You want to take it from here? Them tuning in.
Yeah. So she gets back in, and you just hear the boom, like the sound of it turning on, and you see like like in Wreck-It Ralph, and it's like a giant like two-way mirror looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. And they're like, what the hell? And she's like, right, we have to go into the game. Ooh. Wait, so if the game is on and they like go into the game, are they actually going into the game?
No, they're already in the game.
Yeah.
But it's like if they want to like control all the pieces. So like if you had like a game on the start screen or whatever, and it would sometimes play like a demo of the game.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
basically kind of what they're in right now.
Oh, okay.
But now once they switch on the console and then they're all playing it, they'll get tuned into it and like
then
they'll still be like monged out, but they'll like be able to control the game and stuff. And yeah.
So like in the real world, it will cut back to whatever her name is, and she's just looking at all the pieces move. She's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we see them like do. So they go in and like she explains to them what needs to happen, and they start playing. And you see that what's his name? What is his name? Ryan. You see, Ryan is like naturally quite good at the game, but he's very quick. Like he never thinks long run. He's always doing like this is the quick option. I can hit like 3 bits here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see the other one. What's his name? And he's like, no. He's like, you're not thinking big enough. He's like, you've got to think like 4 moves ahead. And you see him like shift them. And it's like, and he like clears them all in one. And you just hear what's on it. Charlie go, whoa. So with the two of you, we might just be able to hit it and get out
Alright.
of it quite quickly. The only thing is, we have to get on the same page, so we can't be doing one or the other. We have to pick one.
Yeah.
So as each round comes by, like you see them like go, all right, you take this round, I'll take that round, because
Yeah.
their strengths and whatnot hit on different things. So they're doing it, and you see like as it's going off, they're like, oh yeah, this is quite fun. I've missed hanging out with you, like Loki.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all of that, and then every now and again it will cut back to the real world, and it's just what's her name sat there on her phone, like
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, I want to get to a point where there's like a move that they're clearly missing or something like that, and they're gonna like lose the game,
Yeah.
and then what's her name like shows up, like in the game, and she's like, yeah, I had to take the drugs, I had to come and help you.
Oh, yeah, right. The main, yeah.
Yeah, the one who's not in the game.
Yeah.
Right. No, there's too many names. I'm not good with names, man.
It was Lacey.
Lacey, yeah. Sorry, I'm terrible at names. So yeah, Lacey comes in the game at the last minute and like saves them or some shit like that. And she's like, game over, and it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So you see the two of them like working together and they're having fun again, and they're like, yeah, this kind of slaps. I've missed you. Blah 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 blah. And then what happens?
Okay. And then they're hitting it well, but they're still not getting like enough points. So like, I don't know, it's like 80,000. Maybe that's a bit low, but who cares? Like, that's the highest score the creators had. And they're like they're not even halfway yet. They're like just under halfway. Like, oh, we gotta like do it better. And then Charlie shouts, oh, maybe if you do like a twist, and then I'm like, in some like some of the newer Tetris games, if you like twist the blocks in,
Yeah.
it like gives you extra points or something. But maybe that's in there, and they get the T block or something, and they can't get it in. They just like keep pressing it, like, come on, and it clicks in. They're like, oh yeah, that does it, and that gives them a few points. They're like, all right, we need to do more like that, just like more switching so it goes in the right places. And then they're like getting better and better. It's stacking up higher. They're clearing more, and then like the game's not liking this, so it starts to throw like obstacles at them and stuff. So like, if they make like too many mistakes or something, like in a certain amount of time, like if they can't clear a line after 3 turns, after 3 blocks, then it starts throwing like trash blocks at them and stuff to like
Yeah.
block them out. And they're like, what the hell? And she's like, oh, don't worry, you can still get rid of them, but they might like screw up your combos and stuff. And they're like, oh, whatever, we got this. And then so on the outside, she's watching all this, and she's like, oh, they're making too many mistakes. These are rookie things. Maybe she's like a big Tetris player
Yeah.
or whatever. She's like, oh, or her like siblings played it or whatever. I don't know. Or she plays it all the time, Blockbuster, something like that. And then she's like, she knows like she can finish this quicker, but she's like has to wrestle with like the fact that she'd be taking the drugs and stuff, and
Yeah.
she doesn't want to do that. And then she's thinking, like, she keeps seeing, and then it's like, oh, they're gonna be stuck in there for ages. So cuts back to them, and they're starting to panic because more and more trash blocks are starting to come down. The screen's getting filled up more, and then Charlie's just shouting, "Don't make sure you don't fill up the screen, because if you fill up the screen, it's just gonna get worse for you guys."
Yeah.
And then like, just zap.
That's
Lacey comes in.
That's where the conflict comes from. Yeah, because what's his name? What's his name? The little one.
Ryan.
Ryan. Sorry. I will get it. I mean, we're coming to the end, but I will get. So Ryan is like, stop letting them stack up. Like, we need to clear them now. and then
Yeah.
Patrick, yeah,
Yep.
is like, no, we have to let it wait so that we can hit the blah 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 blah. You know,
Yeah.
cold.
And then so they can't agree, stacking up, and Lacey comes in. She's like, "God damn it, you're idiots!" And she's like, in the real world, she's like flopped between them on the couch,
Yeah.
and like they can sort of feel that in the game. They're like, "Oh, they're like, oh, girls touched me or whatever," and then she's like, someone give me your controller. In fact, give me both of them." And then she just like styles on him, like presses the buttons, all the pieces are flipping, going in, bam, one combo, two, three, four, boom, Tetris.
That's cold. That's hard. Yeah, yeah.
And then it's just all cleared. And she's like, oh, right. But then they still don't have enough points. They're like 10k points off. And she's like, oh, god damn it. And so she's like, tries to build up the combo again. But then they're like, she's like, oh, this isn't fast enough. And Charlie's like, well, maybe I can try and speed things up a bit. And then she like snaps out quickly, and then she's like, speed things up a bit. Well, what do you mean? And she like pops like a cup of water in them, and then it like doubles their dose or something, and makes it faster.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my god, and it's just coming down really quick. And then but they're managing to all do it. There's like
As a team.
two more controllers appear, and then all four of them are playing, and then it's cutting down. The points are going up. They've hit the creators' points. They've gone to the moon, and then boom, just a massive explosion. It starts raining Tetris blocks and stuff.
Wait, can we get like in the middle of that? Can we get one more like cut to them in the real world, and they're just all like,
yeah, definitely.
Nice.
And it's just like all raining Tetris blocks and stuff, and they're like, oh my god, well, we did it, this is amazing, yeah. And then Charlie's just like, yeah, well done guys. And then they're like, so why hasn't it stopped yet? And she's like, well, to speed things up I needed to double the dose, so they're like, ah. And then they just ride it out after that, because it's just like, yeah, they enjoyed it after that, I guess.
Yeah.
And then so they all wake up, sort of thing, or just come out of it, come down, they're all back in there, and they're like, well, that was quite something. And Lacey's like, I'm never hanging out with you guys again. Like, and she gets up to leave, and Ryan's like, oh no, wait, we're still not gonna watch Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
And she's like, for God's sake, fine. And then they all sit down to watch Pretty Woman, and then like Patrick and Ryan are like sitting next to each other, and they're like, oh dude, what you said in there, like, did you mean it? He's like, yeah man, like, without you I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I know we party all the time, and you've got your head on straight now and stuff, but once you move out of here, if I don't come back, if I don't go back home with like my degree and stuff, like, it's gonna be horrible for me. And he's like, dude, I know you can do it, just calm down, and like, you can get through this, you can complete it. If I've got faith in anyone in this world, it's you, man. It's like, thanks bro.
Look at that, bro.
And then it just ends with them like watching Pretty Woman. It's just like, Pretty Woman, walking down the street,
Pretty Woman.
it cuts to the credits.
I like that.
But then like it fades out with like Pretty Woman, and then it just goes dun 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 dun.
I didn't even know I knew that theme. I didn't know it was in my head.
Oh yeah, that was pretty decent. That was a strange
cool.
ride, but I could see that being like a movie, or at least like an episode of regular show, because in my head that's
100%.
all I just had.
Yeah.
Like,
It's because it felt like the first episode, the 2 a.m. in the PM or whatever it is.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very that kind of. And I was getting very Mordecai and Rigby energy from the two main characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I enjoyed that though. Oh, I mean, it wouldn't be an
Yeah.
episode if I didn't go, I enjoyed that though. I think that was quite a fun
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Look at us though. But yeah, we've been reinventing the real. You can go check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. We do movie commentaries as well. They come out every other Tuesday. We've got like what 6 episodes out at the minute, something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe more.
maybe more. Who knows? We've watched anything ranging from Disney Channel classics like Let It Shine to that Bible Camp one, a week away. Uh, yeah, Avatar. That's the Last Airbender. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
But yeah. I just wanted to. I know it might sound a bit soppy, but I just want to say thank you as well, because in this past week we managed to hit 1,000 subscribers, no followers on Instagram,
Ooh.
and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I don't know. It meant a lot to me when I saw it. Like I know,
Yeah,
and I was like, that's crazy.
definitely.
Like that's like even if then like if not all of them are like paying attention to what we're posting or whatever, that's still 1,000 people that are coming into contact with our content, and they
Yeah.
can tell a friend
Yeah.
who tells a friend, and yeah. So I just want to say thank you to anyone if you're listening, if you're a new listener. I want to say a bigger thank you to if you're an old listener, if you've been listening to us from since the beginning. You all know who you are. We love you deeply, and we will see you next time.
See you next week.
Yeah.